everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new, I'm Heidi. Today is all about spring. I'm very excited about this video. It really was a fun video to put together. I hope you enjoy it as much as I did making it. Look what came, everybody. If you watched my other video, which will be linked, it was a thrift haul from Goodwill. I did mention that I finally found a hutch for my dining room. Yeah, very exciting. I'm sure there's a million parts. My husband's gonna be like, oh no, but I'll help him put it together. We'll get it together in no time. So I'm very excited about that. But anyway, I'm gonna take you around and just show you how I incorporated the latest Goodwill finds, not all of them, some of them, into my home, but yet it didn't warrant a whole decorate with me, refresh kind of video, okay? We'll be doing that. We're gonna make a nice spring cookie. We're gonna make a simmer pot. Everything's for spring. We're gonna DIY some pots because I have to buy some herbs. It's just gonna be a great video. So if that is something that interests you, please stick around. All right, so let's head out to the porch, and a very minor change, but just switched a couple things out, tweaked a couple things here and there. All right, let's go. All right, Frank was doing some planting out here. He put in these new boxwood plants, and I believe he said they come up every year, so I think that's why the water's there. But anyway, this was one of my finds from Goodwill, that little basket, and I just put in a faux plant, and I brought my lantern out and put it on the bench. If it is your first time here, this is my porch, my front porch. All right, let's head inside. I'm not changing my door. After all, it is still spring. Here's my dough bowl. I will insert a nighttime picture as well. I just added some candles and some moss balls. I thought that looked really pretty. Did a little redecorating here, switch this up. I changed this area. I had a wooden caddy with a few things in it, and I recently found this, another find. This tray with the, is it rattan or like a rope or wicker? I don't know, bottom. And anyway, I just put my utensils, some olive oil, and a cutting board, and I thought that looked nice. Switched my coffee corner here. I used to have golden white eggs in here. Took those out and put in some faux pears. I did keep the Goodwill bowl that I found though. I love that, scalloped. I found that 2 trips ago. And then over here, if you remember, I've just found this, and I just put in some of my DIY pots and a faux plant. So anyway, I just wanted to show you some of the updates. And now we're going to make a spring simmer pot. I've got some lemon slices, some rosemary, some lavender potpourri, and some lavender essential oil. So hopefully soon my house will be smelling wonderful and spring-like as well. I'd love to get one of those little glass pots that are used for all the simmer pots. I think they're adorable. But for now, this Dutch oven pot will do. Frank brought out my cart, so we're gonna do some DIY on these pots with some lime. I've never done it before, fairly easy. I'm gonna get basil, I'll do rosemary, and what was the other one I was gonna do? Was it parsley? I can't remember. And Frank ended up getting our ferns. Our little birds are happy as can be in their nest. It's hard to see in the sun, I think, but little babies are in there. So it is all about spring today. All right, let's go inside. I got a surprise for you. All right, my surprise is we're gonna make a nice, I think of it as a spring cookie. They're called frosted carrot drops. They are absolutely delicious. I think I made them last year, and they have a delicious powdered sugar glaze, and you can add a little bit of orange juice or orange peel. So it comes together fairly quickly, and I will link this recipe. So now we're going to go outside and do this DIY for my herb pots that I've been dying to do. It's the first time I've used lime. It is messy. I did an even ratio of a cup of lime and a cup of water. So like I said, this was my first time. It was a very interesting experience, very easy, and you'll see some of the process here. So from what I've learned, obviously you can make it as thick or thin as you want. And like I said, my ratio was even, a cup and a cup, water and lime. And I'm just brushing it on. And I remembered at some point that somebody said the drips are gonna show. So go in different directions and kind of get rid of the drips. So you'll see me kind of crisscross and I'm all over the place. But it's fairly easy, and I've been dying to do this. So I thought, should I do the whitewashing or just try the lime? And I decided to try the lime method. And it's easy. Like I said, it is messy. And I had some left over at the end. I had to put in like a container and put it in trash bags so it wouldn't spill all over the place. I did a little bit of the inside, did the rim, and it's amazing how fast it dries too. Some of you who have done this before are probably laughing at me. But like I said, I'm not a huge DIYer. I like to try things. And, so it was just kind of interesting. But I'm not going to torture you. And I had some extra lime mixture. So I ended up doing, was it 2 or 3 other pots? Just to kind of use some of it up. But we still had a good amount left. So if you think about it, a cup of lime and water did do like 6 pots, I think it was. So just keep that in mind. And like I said, I guess you can make it as thick or thin as you want. So what you're going to see me do after is I ended up, so after it dries, you're supposed to use some sandpaper and sand it. I will, because it's a little heavy on the pots, I think. But what I did also is I took my glove and I kind of rubbed it over the pot in all different directions to kind of wipe some of the lime off, and that seemed to work a little bit. However, I will be using some sandpaper. It does look heavy in spots, so I'm going to try to get the look that I want. And you know, in nature, nothing's perfect on when the pots are aging, right? So you don't have to go too crazy with this. Time to put our cookies on our pretty cake plate. Found this at Goodwill, might have been last year. And I already had a dome that went to another plate that broke. So it was almost like it was meant to be when I got this plate. Isn't it pretty with the scalloped? I've been getting a lot of, something here. I've been getting a lot of scalloped things lately. But try to make these, guys. They really are a great cookie for any time, but especially for spring. I will tell you, these will not last. Kind of goes nice with my yellow plates here. But anyway, those are the cookies. You know what's funny? I was in line at Home Depot and I said, should I just buy the big planter of the already fully grown basil plant? And you know, I don't know anything really that much about herbs. And I don't know, it kind of gives me a little bit of joy to just get one little cup and put it in my little DIY pot. And I've been doing this for a couple years in a row. And just to see what happens, it's kind of a fun thing. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It would really help my channel out if you gave me a thumbs up, liking it, hopefully subscribing if you're new. That would really help my channel out a lot, and I would appreciate it. Thank you. I hope you had a fun time. I had a fun time doing this video. I'll link my last couple videos. One was cleaning up my gazebo, and the other one was thrift finds. So if you are new, check those out and get to know me a little bit better. Have a great day, everybody. Hope to see you soon.